Yo, what's going on, everyone? My name is Cody Jones, and today I'm going to be having another guest on this podcast, and his name goes by the name of Brady Flanders. But before we get into that, I want you guys to follow the podcast on Spotify. Other than that, man, this guy, really cool dude. I only known him for a little bit, but we're going to be having him as a guest on today's episode. So, hope you guys enjoy. Let's get it cracking. Oh, shit. I accidentally fucking hung up on you. I meant to fucking hit the microphone. Way better? Alright, cool. I guess there was no point in the speaker.
What were you trying to do with the speaker?
Like, I was gonna use the speaker so that it would sound much louder.
Dude, I did the same exact thing. I was when I first started my podcast, I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a FaceTime interview with my phone, and then I'm gonna record that FaceTime interaction with a speaker so it's louder. But then I'm gonna re-record it with my laptop of me talking, and it was just a mess, dude. And as soon as you involve a speaker, it kills all the audio.
Yeah. It's like I'm using an old, like, Revival 5 phone to, like, just record videos and podcasts. And I'm using
my gosh, dude, that's
my
even
other
worse.
phone.
Yeah, man, you gotta get yourself like a. you're basically filming your podcast with like a baked potato, like a VCR.
I mean, shockingly, the audio is, like, really crap, but few people have been listening regardless. I'm, like, on 23rd episode already with this one.
Hell yeah, man! I gotta commend you for that. How long have you been doing your podcast for?
I've been doing the podcast since August last year, something like that. August or September, I can't remember.
That's cool. Well, dude, I tell you what, I think I heard some statistic or some clip or something or another where it's like 99% of podcasts never make it past like episode 3 or something like that. Basically, if you produce, I think it's 21 episodes, you are in like the top 1% of the top 1% of all content creators. So you're 23, man. You've done more than 99% of people.
Yeah, and it's like I continue to have other guests. Like, I got a couple YouTubers that have popped up on the podcast. Like people like Kadeem the King, Stephen M. Green. I had like other friends like continue to co-host with me.
Oh yeah, I'm a Dolphins fan. Yeah, I'm gone. Yeah, I'll see ya. That's so sorry. Some lady was driving next to me. She's like, "Roll down your window. Roll down your window." Like, go to the Dolphins game right now. Go Atlanta.
That's awesome. Honestly, man.
Waving at me. I'm like, what the hell does this lady want? I'm doing a freaking interview right now. I'm doing a podcast. Sorry, that was very rude of me, though. What were you saying?
No, it's all good. I was going to say I'm not much of a football fan, but my brother, he's a Chargers fan. But, I mean, that's because, like, we're all from California, you know, so go figure.
Well, dude, that's week 1, man. Miami's going to I want to keep saying San Diego. I grew up with the Chargers being in San Diego,
not
LA.
That's what's up.
Dude, yeah, the Dolphins are going to LA week 1. Y'all embarrassed us last year, so this is going to be a big week 1 for us.
All right, man. I've been wanting to ask you a few questions about your channel and all that stuff because I already just got done watching you get your tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what was the process with that? Because I saw that it was like a tow truck with a sun on it or something.
Close enough, man. You're in the neighborhood. It's my camper van. Have you ever heard of van life before? before?
No, I don't think I have.
So basically, if you go to like Instagram or YouTube and you just type in van life, VANLIFE, all sorts of stuff's going to come up for people who basically, essentially what I did, this was a couple of years ago, was I either threw out, donated, burned, or sold everything I owned. And I bought a van, like kind of like a small RV of sorts, and just traveled the country and lived out of it. So I slept in Walmart parking lots and Dick's Sporting Goods parking lots. I mean, there's a parking lot, dude. I slept in it, and yeah. So I mean, I absolutely loved it. I had such a blast doing it, and I still have the van. So I was like, I want to get a tattoo of the van. I call him Frank the Tank. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh shit! And you just uploaded something 2 hours ago. Okay, I'm certainly gonna check this out after.
That was I think a short clip. I got another. Yeah, because what I do is for social media is if I create a video that's like under 60 seconds, I don't post it to YouTube. But if it's over 60 seconds, I'll upload all those to YouTube. It's because like I try to keep the do you upload shorts to YouTube at all?
Yeah, most of it is like just dog shorts.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What I like to do is I have I create some content myself, and I've got my videographers that help me with some stuff as well. Obviously, the stuff they make is always going to be way higher quality. Yeah. So I try to keep the high quality. Like for a while, I was putting everything on YouTube, but I would get like a professional clip with 3,000 views, and then I'd upload like a little podcast clip that got 27. And then I'd upload like a professional clip that got like 5,000 views, and then I'd upload a little thing I made that got like 200. So what I found is the stuff that I put on YouTube, the quality stuff, it gets eyeballs, and I want to stay consistent with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, if it's over 60 seconds, it goes on YouTube though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man, and it's like you got a bunch of other people like Nate Hudson showing up, and Roman Lambert, like a few of these people I never even heard of.
Oh, most of them are just my buddies. Right now, well, my strategy with my podcast, I call it Raw Dogging with Brady Flanders, which is a great name, by the way. I don't care what anyone says.
No, I dig it.
Because it fits the dog brand beautifully.
Yeah.
There's no editing. It's on Zoom, so the quality's terrible. It's like, where's the Raw Dogging, baby? But no, my strategy with my podcast is I want to take 100 swings in the batter's box before I even look up. I want to do 100 episodes. It's just my friends and my buddies, and just I'm not going to get the president of the United States on for an episode the next week. So I want to get really good at it, hone my craft, and like I said, once I hit triple digits, guess what? Then I'll consider myself. All right, I've taken this pretty seriously.
Yeah, man. Because like. It was a little bit the same way for me, It's like before I even started YouTube, like this was way back in 2015. I was a senior, but I wasn't taking YouTube seriously. So I uploaded like a System of a Down cover just for the fuck of it. And it got a whole lot of views, but again, I didn't take it serious. I came back last year in 2022, I believe it was, reacting to a album by a rapper that goes by the name The Joker. I was reviewing this album, a lot of reactions, a lot of opinions, and for some reason I just kept recording more videos because I guess that one comment, it really made me feel good knowing that people were digging it. So I
saw some of your videos. You're calling this Joker guy out, are you? Calling him out.
I would say.
Did he ever get back in touch with you? What happened?
Yeah. I mean, me and him, we completely keep it cool with each other. Like this guy, he's a really dope artist, really cool dude. Got nothing but love and respect for him. Like, I wouldn't say I was calling him out, but this was like during the time when I was like really. Like, I guess you could say I was really, like, geeking out for Tech 9 and Hobson. And this was, like, in 2016. I didn't know who the Joker was. But by the time that I got to know him on Messenger, like we completely kept it real with each other, and after that, me and him just completely became cool with one another. I still
Hell
keep
yeah.
I still keep in contact with him on Instagram. We would
Well, if that
sometimes.
guy, if he ever acts up, man, you just let me know. I can make a phone call. So I'll stick one of my dogs on him. You know, I'll get a couple members of the dog pound together. You know, we'll go teach this guy a lesson. You know.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
I like
Honestly,
it, dude.
yeah. Thank you. I respect that. It's like when I saw your message pop up on Instagram, I was thinking, who is this guy? I've never even heard of you. And when you sent me a message saying that you saw my podcast pop up on a list of other podcasts,
Yeah.
I was very curious. Like, how did you even figure out my social medias? Did you just type in, like, Google my name or something?
Yeah, so what happens is I was at a retreat in Arizona for the weekend, and
Okay.
it was kind of like an emotional retreat. You know, we were learning some stuff, learning how to process some stuff we'd gone through in the past. It's just getting better.
Yeah.
And the topic of podcast came up, and I was like, hey, is there like a system or software or a website for people who want guests or for guests who want to get on shows, like just basically like a connector, people that bring people together.
Yeah.
And someone told me, they sent me it's like an email newsletter something or another, and twice a week I get an email, and it's 10 guests and 10 shows. So there's 10, if you have a podcast, there's 10 guests you can reach out to get them on your podcast if you want. There's 10 shows. So if you're a prospective guest, you can get on their show if you want as a guest.
Okay.
And it's random. Like, I mean, of the 10 shows, there might be one show on dementia. There might be a podcast on plants. There might be a podcast on business.
Yeah.
Horror movies, all sorts of stuff. And so what I'll do is I'll scroll through.
Yeah.
And if I see something that I'm interested in, I'll usually just look them up.
Okay.
I'll type in, I just came to your Instagram, shot you a message, and here we are.
All right. I mean, that's really cool that you did. And, like, someone hit me up asking me what my podcast is about. I didn't really have a very simple answer other than we just talk about whatever and we keep it completely uncensored. Everything is unscripted. Our opinions are, like, unapologetic. Like, we just, a little bit like your podcast, we're just raw dogging the whole episode.
Hell yeah, dude. I got this thing, too, every time someone says something that's insightful. Because the way I like to put it for mine is, I'm like, fellas, let's spend like 90% of the show just riffing, chopping wood, talking whatever. Yeah. And for like 10%, let's try to add some value. We'll talk a little bit about personal development or business, a couple nuggets that you can take home. And whenever someone says something that's insightful, I'll usually just growl at them like a dog. I'm like, it's like, so if you say something cool, you get a little growl.
That's awesome.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I love it, man. It's one of those things where I've been a guest on a good handful of these lately, and I'm starting to ramp up production on mine as well. And I think it's a great opportunity to get into some new markets and to get in contact with some new people that you normally wouldn't have. And dude, I'm willing to talk on anything. If someone wants to talk business or entrepreneurship, or I think with yours, it was like you said, it was hey, we just talk. We talk on whatever.
Exactly.
I love those too.
Yeah. It's like me, my friends, we just talk about anything worth mentioning, like either what's going on with like people, with music, video games, movies, TV. We just think of whatever and just talk about it for fucking hours.
You got any what's your specialty? Are you a TV guy? Are you a video game guy? I've kind of dropped a lot of those recently, but I don't know. What's your go-to? What are your favorites?
I'd say that I'm more of like the gaming type because I've always been a gamer since I was little. The first thing I've ever played was Super Mario 64. That was the very first thing that got me into it. After that, I've never stopped picking up the controller.
Oh, man. that it's funny you say that. The first video game I ever played, it wasn't on the Nintendo 64. It was on the old. I got I think my Uncle Kevin. I might have turned 6 years old or something. Maybe it was Christmas.
Yeah.
And he mailed from California. He mailed the old school Game Boy from the 70s.
Oh shit.
And an original copy of Super Mario.
Damn.
And looking back, I mean, I don't even know where I ever put it or what happened to it. But now I'm like, damn, man, that's that'd be that's like a wet dream for an old school gamer.
Yeah.
But dude, I tell you what, it's funny you said that. But no, I played a lot of Super Mario in my day.
Yeah.
I've slowed down a little bit, dude. I still love Madden though, and GTA, Call of Duty.
Man.
I'll still every once in a while do some. It always starts off with a buddy. I'm like, dude, let's just play a couple games, and then I look up and it's like the sun is coming up, and I'm like, ah, shit, that's not. I just ruined the day. Oh,
yeah.
No.
Dude, my sleep hours are completely shit. It's like me and my brother, we would both be playing video games from fucking 2 or 3 a.m. all the way until 4 or 5, and we both have a schedule. Okay, we'll play a little bit of this and watch something on Max or on Peacock or whatever until 6 a.m. or until 5 a.m. and then I just knock out right after.
Well, those were the days back in 9th grade, 10th grade. You'd come home. Oh, these are the days. These are my favorites. I'd get off the school bus on a Friday afternoon at school usually got out at 2 o'clock. So by 3 o'clock, I'm at home. I'm in front of the TV. I've got Black Ops 1 on the PlayStation 3 pulled up.
Okay.
And dude, because it was a Friday, we had no school on Saturday, I would play, no joke, from 3 o'clock in the afternoon with my friends until sometimes we're talking 14, 15 hours.
Yeah.
I would play until the next morning. It was a sickness for a while. But it got to a point with me though where I was because I was so obsessed with my KD.
Yeah.
Non Call of Duty players out there. It's a kill death ratio. But I was so obsessed with my KD. I'm like, dude, mine's 3.53. You're a bum. You're a loser. I got 20,000 kills. But now I'm as an adult, it's who gives a shit? There's way more important things than your KD ratio and what do you call it, a first person shooter or whatever.
Yeah, it's with video games. I'm very picky with what I play. It's I have no problem with Call of Duty, but I love playing things that are story based, like the Spider-Mans, the God of Wars.
Yeah.
I love a good storytelling game.
Have you ever played the Telltale, the Walking Dead games before?
No, I've never got to them. My brother, they played a lot of Telltale games before they were closed down.
Yeah, I don't think they do anything anymore, but because I used to love that TV show, The Walking Dead, before it got terrible. Around season midway through season 5 is when it started to drop off, I think.
Yeah.
But dude, man, oh man, if you like a good story, the Walking Dead Telltale games are Hall of Fame worthy.
Yeah.
Basically, Dying Light. I love zombie games. Dying Light is a great game.
Never
the story in that one was pretty terrible, but the game itself was a blast.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, dude, even though I talk a lot about personal development, motivation, and we're doing some education and some content, it's I still if I scroll through TikTok and I see one of those Madden streamers,
yeah,
and they're getting 200,000 likes in a night, and a million subscribers, and people are sending them money. I'm like, damn, man, that would be a pretty sweet career. Just play video games for a living.
Oh yeah, it's I see a bunch of other YouTubers that inspired me to do YouTube, and they fucking get thousands of views in hours and shit, and I just think, damn, that seems like an amazing thing. And yeah, I agree. Fucking Let's Players get paid to record videos and shit. It's some of my shit barely hit double digits.
Dude, I can relate to that, my man. Well, it's one of those things where like my shorts that I'm putting out, they're getting a lot of eyeballs right now. Like I'm super happy with it. And again, I'm not trying to. I think it's not healthy to correlate views on a YouTube video with personal success. You know what I mean? Like sometimes the video just doesn't perform well. Sometimes maybe you had a bad thumbnail. Maybe people just didn't see it. That whatever. But you know, I'm really excited because I'm pumping the well. I think I'm putting out some pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you just gotta stay consistent with it. You know.
Yeah.
But you're right, man. I think that'd be really, really cool one day where you post a video and you've built a following to the point where within a few hours you already have a couple thousand. Like that'd be pretty sick.
Absolutely. All right. So another question I want to ask is, like, this whole cleaning business that you got going on with you cleaning pools and like devoting time to bodybuilding and all that stuff.
No, did you watch the bodybuilding video too?
Not yet. I'm looking at it. Like, I have so many shit that I got to get to.
No, dude, yeah, if you go to my playlist, it's the one that's labeled "Day in the Life." That's where all the longer stuff is. And I've done stuff because I own a swimming pool cleaning business out of South Florida.
Oh, okay.
And you know, that's a pretty good place to have a business like that. There's a lot of pools down here, and so I mean, I had the idea one day where I follow all these guys on social media and YouTube, like they're that I look up to, and they provide so much value to me. I'm like, why the hell don't I give this a shot? Why don't I document some of my business journey? So it started off with like my very first video I ever posted.
Mm-hmm.
It's about like 15 minutes, and it's us cleaning a pool and kind of walking people through the steps of how it goes and day in the life being a pool guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did some funny stuff. I did some advertising videos. But yeah, and then one day we did the bodybuilding video or whatever, So I'm this for a little bit, so I'm kind of finding out what works, what doesn't work, what people like.
Yeah.
Experimenting. I don't want it all to be business. I don't want it all to be just funny stuff. The way I kind of describe it is edutainment. Yeah. It's a good mix of education and entertainment.
Yeah. It's like you're learning, but you're enjoying what you're learning.
You got it. Because I think there's so many people, like a lot of these motivational business guys, they're so smart. Like, they're so smart.
Yeah.
But they don't have that funny bone. You know what I mean? It's kind of like sitting through a high school class sometimes.
Yeah.
But then you've got people who, like, love the comedian stand-up videos, but they're not really – it's the same thing. You're kind of just playing a video game. You're watching a TV show. You're not learning anything. Yeah. So I think if, in a perfect world, if you can make someone laugh – because I think laughter and humor connect people. People – rarely remember what you say, but they'll always remember how you made them feel. Yeah. And I think if you can make someone chuckle and crack up a little bit at your stupid antics and your jokes, but at the same time, you're also adding value to their life.
Yeah.
I think that's a hell of a recipe. So I'm trying to lean into that.
Yeah. And it's funny that you say that because I watched this dude, I think his name is John Solo. Like, he, teaches and gives information on like mythologies and backstories to like nursery rhymes and stories and shit. But at the same time, he adds humor to it.
Yes.
But when I break down something mythology based, like my sister gets pissed off about it. Like, must you always ruin this for me?
Yeah, you gotta. Well, the thing is, I don't even know if that's a skill or if it's a trait. I think it's a skill. That being said, though, I think some people just don't have that funny bone. You know what I mean? I think some people are just not. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, though. I just think there's some people on this planet that, like, they're not built for humor. They're built for, like, those are the engineers. Those are the accountants. Those are the rocket scientists. They're very number-driven, data-driven. They don't,
Yeah, I agree. What exactly drove you to want to do YouTube in the beginning?
Well, like I said, originally, I'll give you a little backstory. I was a district manager with a company called Cutco for about 6.5, 7 years.
Yeah.
And I started off as a sales rep, worked my way up through management, failed a million times, found success a million times, a lot of ups and downs. But when it was all said and done, I sold a little under $4 million
wow.
worth of knives there, myself and people that I trained. And the reason why I went into management in the first place, because a salesperson can make a lot of money, man. If you're in business for yourself and you just want to go out there and sell, like you can do well. But for me, like the way that my managers treated me and the way that they impacted me, imparted wisdom onto me, and spent time with me and coached me and helped me, I was like, I want to do that for other people.
Yeah.
So when I went into management, I caught that bug, and I loved it. So, but the thing is, when I left the company to do my own thing for a couple of years, I kind of lost that flame.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's funny, dude. Me making stupid little YouTube videos about a tattoo or me. You gotta watch that bodybuilder video, by the way. Yeah. It's so good. It's so good. But because we did a leg day, and I hadn't done a leg day in maybe 2 years up to that point. So we went from 0 to 100 in one. I couldn't walk for 3 days after that video. It was insane. But it was bad. It was really bad. I thought I was gonna have to go to the hospital at one point. I literally, my legs aren't fucking working right now. This is a problem. But the thing is, even though it's a video about lifting weights and whatever, I'm asking my guy questions about weightlifting techniques. Hey, why do you do this way? And my cameraman walks up and he's like, Brady, if you're tired, why don't you just quit? And I go off on a rant. It's like there's good stuff interwoven into these videos. And if I can, the way I put it, man, is this. If I can say something and someone pulls a line of dialogue from the video that gives them some value, or it lights up that little light bulb above their head, or I take a risk in my business, and maybe I screw up, maybe it doesn't work, but maybe that inspires someone to get off their ass and take a risk and get to work. Or maybe I challenge, maybe I say something that challenges a belief system or an opinion that you've had for 20 years.
Yeah.
Or dude, maybe I'm just being a friggin' idiot. I'm doing some goofball stuff and I make you chuckle. It's like I'm just trying to have an impact on people in a positive way, and making these videos, man, there's a long answer for a short question. Making these videos allows me to do that. I love it.
I absolutely agree. It's like before I even got into YouTube, I was very, I guess you could say I didn't really have the initiative to really do much, especially since I lost my father in 2021, so I completely lacked the initiative to want to do anything. Plus, I was still trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Yeah. And so my brother, he helped me out by getting a job with his girlfriend at a pet parlor, which I did some stories and some videos about it, about working at a pet parlor, the process, the ups and the downs to being a dog washer. And believe me, there's so many, there were moments that really made me not want to do it. But it's like the pay, it was worth it. I almost lost a fucking finger to a blind Shih Tzu, but but it was worth it because, every dog and breed and size, the prices vary because of them. And cats are fucking $100 to work with.
Well, dude, that alone right there, you could turn that into a million videos, man. That's interesting. People, I've never worked in a dog daycare. I've got some clients that have swimming pools for their dogs, and we take care of them. I've never worked with dogs.
Yeah.
I mean, I am a dog, but I've never. That's interesting, man. People want to hear that stuff. They want to hear the stories, and they want to. Some black Shih Tzu just almost took my finger out. People want to hear that, So you can turn anything into content.
Yeah.
I love that. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of sucks, though, because by the beginning of 2022, the place was already getting shut down because my boss was moving into a whole different city in Texas. business was slowly going down and not many people were coming in, especially since there was like one or two other pet parlors in the area. And I don't know, it's like the place was just slowly going downhill. So, like, they completely shut the place down. And for some reason, I just found that spark with doing YouTube again. And I wanted to bring entertainment, let's plays, stories. Like, I wanted to bring a whole variety to different audiences. And I'm not afraid to keep it real on some points.
Yeah.
It's like there were some incidences where I was not afraid to, like, being serious on camera, like talking about loss, talking about a like public situation with like the death of Takeoff and all that. Like, I'm not afraid to get into a very serious topic, but if it keeps everyone alert, then that's all that matters, is that I can be serious when I want to, and I can be a complete goofy idiot if I want to.
Yeah. Well, dude, you've got a really unique opportunity in the sense that I'm sorry to hear about your dad's passing. Man, that sucks. You're the second person in the span of a couple days that have mentioned that. So I mean, that's not something a young person should have to. The most important person in the development of a child is the same sex parent. So for a boy, it's his dad, or for a girl, it's her mom. As they're growing up. So I mean, that's brutal, man. So, but I mean, you've got a unique opportunity to share insight about that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of people that have gone through that, or going through that, or will go through that. And you being able to teach through experience and work, I mean, that you can really do some good with it. You could turn a terrible, ugly, unfortunate thing and really make it good, I think.
Yeah. It's like I kind of open up a bit, like sometimes on video, or sometimes I would like open myself up and like put it into poetry. But the thing is, I hardly ever share any of them because, like, I want to share it for when I think it's time to share it, because there's some like really like various emotions and thoughts going on in my poetry that I want to share, but at the same time, not yet.
Yeah, man. Well, everyone's different, and I tell you what, I held on to a real important secret for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I tell you what, you want to talk about having weight on your shoulders for years and years and years. It was tough.
Yeah.
But I got to the point where I was like, you know what, I'm going to share my story. And it was one of the best things I'd ever did.
Yeah.
Because people connected with it, people resonated with it, and man, it took all that weight that was on my shoulders and took it off.
Yeah, and it's like I really find that to be most admirable when other people like put their pain, their struggles, like everything that they've been through, and turn it into art, kind of like Tupac did with Maya Angelou, Rupi Kaur, Eazy-E. Like they turned everything that was going downhill for them and turned it into an art that completely resonated globally.
Yeah, man, absolutely. By the way, sorry, I'm being the shittiest podcast guest in the world right now. I'm checking in with my Dolphins guy right here. We go. Parking. Here we go.
Yeah.
If the fans at home for the podcast want to know how to check into a football game, here you go. August 11th. All right, you're good to go. Hold up. Oh, you're good. Perfect. Park wherever. Put them down there. Oh, perfect. Thank you. Man, yeah. Like I said, normally I do my episodes at home in front of my laptop. Professional. I'm doing it from the right way. Today I'm getting yelled at by Falcons fans on the street. I'm checking in. I'm parking. Oh, here we go. Here's part 2. Here we go.
Yeah.
Hello. Doing excellent. Just park wherever. Fantastic. Thank you. Here we go. Man. I tell you, I'm looking right now, as I say this, I'm looking at the Hard Rock Stadium.
Yeah.
This thing is a friggin' spaceship. Compared to you go to like the stadium in Buffalo or Cincinnati, like stadiums that are from like the 90s. This thing is brand stinking new.
Yeah. It's like my brother and my father both went to a Chargers versus Raiders game, and sadly I didn't really get to go, but we were talking about like the process of going through the parking lot and all that stuff. Like, it was somewhat funny, but very interesting to hear.
Sorry, yeah, man, the friggin' sorry, get yelled at by parking attendants as well. Dude, yeah, man, football's a hell of a game. And it brings out the best and it brings out the worst in people, man. But yeah, dude, you said you're not a big football guy, right?
Nah.
Yeah, dude, I tell you what, it's I don't know if it's me getting older or what, but I used to be obsessed with football, obsessed with the NFL. Like, I could tell you any stat. I could tell you this guy who played for this team, this guy was a backup on this college team, and this guy went everything.
Yeah.
But kind of similar to video games and TV shows and all that. I'm like, none of these players know me. None of them ever probably. I mean, I'm sure I'll meet some of them down the road, but like, I don't have intimate relationships with these guys.
Yeah.
I used to, if the Dolphins lost, I used to let it ruin my week for like the next 7 days. And, I'm like, dude, you gotta, at a certain point, like, I still enjoy it. It's a hobby for me. I love the Dolphins. I got a Dolphins tattoo on my right arm. But, I'm not as serious about it as I used to be. I used to be a little.
Yeah. It's like I've seen videos of people completely losing their minds to football games and football losses. Like, I've seen people smash their TVs or like fucking yell out in public about it. Like, I've seen how crazy football fans are.
Well, dude, it's one of the. I think what started to make me think a little different about it was I went on the Dolphins fan cruise. And, there's a bunch of players from like the 70s and 80s and a couple of players I even grew up watching.
Yeah.
And you got to meet. Basically, these guys were just on the boat, so you can just walk up to them and have conversations. They're signing autographs and taking pictures and all this stuff. But I think what it was for me, man. Yeah, this is back in April, so this is a relatively new development. I was so excited to go on that. I had a lot of fun, and I got great stories and everything. But there were people, like these people that were fans. They're just like me being around the players. I was just like, man, these are just regular dudes. These are just people.
Yeah.
Like, people are crazy. Like, can I get your autograph? Or they get angry. Like, oh, this guy sucks. He doesn't do autographs. Or this guy wouldn't take a picture of me. I'm like,
yeah.
It's just a human being.
Yeah.
That did a job for a little while. Like, these are just regular guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, I think I heard something about some football player that denied a kid an autograph or something, like he was at a golf course or some shit. And I think Justin Herbert was the only one that was completely okay with giving autographs to people and giving them a sneaker or something. I mean, it probably wasn't Justin Herbert, it was probably someone else, but I know it was someone.
Well, you know what it was though, man? It was like, because if you're a little kid, like, if you're a little kid, that's a totally different story. Like, I think you gotta take a picture with the kids. You gotta give the kid an autograph,
Yeah.
But like, all the friggin' people on this boat were like in their 40s and 50s and like old people. They're like, oh yeah, like I can't imagine being a 45-year-old man and like hounding another 45-year-old man to sign his name on something. Like, being on that boat, I was like, it kind of made him get a little bit bigger. I'm like, it's kind of embarrassing to.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get me wrong. I walked up to some of my favorite players and I asked questions and we shared stories and that was awesome. But like, I think to treat like just I don't know. I just thought it was kind of weird. Like when I was a little kid, though, don't get me wrong, I'd be like hounding people. Oh, can I get your autograph? Can I get your? But like as an adult, it's a little different.
Yeah. Especially when those kids are giving you puppy eyes and asking for pictures and autographs and stuff. It's like, how can you say no to an innocent little kid?
No, man, we got to realize, I mean, these little kids, a lot of kids don't have mentors in life. They don't have, like, for a little kid, he might have gotten a football game ticket as a Christmas gift, and that's the best Christmas gift he'll get. Like, this might be the one opportunity that he'll ever get to be around you or ask. It's like, I think you always got to come through for kids, always.
Absolutely.
But for me, like, I've got season tickets. I go to every game. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't. It's a little different for me, but like I get it, man. When I was a kid, it was a totally different. But at the same time, though, that's why I kind of related to video games. When I was a kid, I loved video games and I loved TV shows. As I've gotten older, I've started to kind of focus on what's a little bit more important in life. I think, at least. That's my opinion. That answer's gonna be different for everybody, but building businesses and making money and having an impact, and building up people. I think that's a lot more important to me now than what it used to be.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, again, as I said, it's different for everyone, It's like, me, I don't really see myself, like, just being with a pack of sheep. Like, I prefer to just be one of those people that stand out from the rest. Yeah. But, like, with the same goal and motivation as a few other people who think the same way.
100%, dude. You gotta. You can't go through life doing what everyone else does.
Yeah.
You gotta have a personality. You gotta have a little love, of charisma. You gotta have unique interests. You gotta think different. You gotta be different. It's like the average American man is fat, dumb, broke, and on a lot of cholesterol medication. You know what I mean? It's like, if you do what everyone does, it's not gonna be a great ending for you.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really boring life. It's like one of my other brothers. He asked me, like, "Are you just gonna be doing reaction videos and reviews and stuff?" I told him, "No, I plan to do like a much wider variety of everything else. Like, I can try the nasty-ass jelly bean boozled with my sister, and it was really fun to do. It was terrible to do, but it was, like, entertaining as is."
Yeah. Well, good. It's, we evolved as people. We evolved as humans.
Yeah.
And, that's the thing of the game. But I tell you what, dude, I'm excited, man. We're going to beat the hell out of these Falcons tonight. I'm getting ready to walk into the stadium, and we're going to do the preseason game of our lifetime, an exhibition match that has absolutely no impact on the regular season. And more than likely, I'll get 5 minutes to watch the starters play, and then it'll be a bunch of backups playing for the rest.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to going in there and spending, $29 on a bag of popcorn, and $37 for a bottle of water, and it'll be a good time. But dude, this has been a freaking blast, man. I've had a lot of fun.
Hell yeah, this was fun. I mean, 43 minutes of recording, completely worth doing.
Hell yeah, dude. And again, I apologize. Like I said, normally I'm a little more professional and all this. So, like I said, you got to hear a bunch of side conversations, and I don't know if you're in my turn signals, and now I'm walking through a parking lot. So, thanks for putting up with me, dude. And
hey,
if we do another one of these, or I have you on mine, man, we'll make sure it's a little more on the up and up.
No problem. I plan to continue having like some of the same guests pop up in future episodes.
Absolutely, dude.
But it was really fun talking to you, man. Like, for real, I absolutely enjoy this interview. This was actually really fun to do.
Yeah, man, we'll do. I tell you what, we probably only got to the tip of the iceberg today. So as I start to put out more stuff, and if you learn some stuff from me and I learn some stuff from you, and we'll evolve and grow, dude. We got all sorts of stuff we can cover in the future.
Yeah, man. I definitely see a friendship already building.
Absolutely, man. Love it. Well, dude, I tell you what, thanks for the time, and if you ever need anything, obviously give me a holler.
Hey, man, no problem. Anyways, enjoy the Dolphins game, man.
We'll certainly try, man. We'll certainly try.
All right, man. Peace.
All right, talk later. See ya.
Man, that was actually a really, really fun interview. Really cool dude. I recommend that you guys seriously subscribe to Brady Flanders' YouTube channel. Like, I think this guy is really funny, really amusing. Definitely worth checking him out, guys. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this episode. this was a blast to record. And honestly, man, again, be sure to follow the podcast on Spotify. And also subscribe to my channel on YouTube, Cody Panda Jones. Anyways, guys, I'm out. Peace, and I love y'all.